even smudged? Yeah. People wouldn't. Janet. Stongo. Stongo Oshkinyacha.
Guna. Madawa ka, Darian.
Kunamante.
Uh, Yatahe.
Gwina.
Kikidus. Mary Faye.
Halito.
Seal.
Ansi Huntidish.
Oh.
You gotta stick it back in there.
Dang, these things.
He broke it. He broke it. He I think I don't know. Do you are you trying to sabotage things? Not dyslexic. So if you're dyslexic, that means you're trying to sabotage.
Savages. Kingston Redskins.
Can you hear it now? Well, good morning, good morning. Coming live from 1950, South Shepherd. There we go.
Buck. Buck.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Buck.
Here we are on a Terry Tuesday. I left my,
Buck.
my Terry Tuesday was dirty, so I got to wear the one in the office. So, and Theta said I can't fit a medium, so my pride's a little hurt right now. Yeah.
Hey.
But we had a good tearing it story this morning.
Best.
Yeah, a silverback tearing it story.
Dang. Laps.
Yeah. That's a good way to start my day.
Good way.
And we had to do this early because we have an all staff meeting at 10 o'clock. So our executive director, I'm sure she was having a good time last night.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah, she went to the concert,
Mm-hmm.
and Zach was like, "Yeah, people were calling me at 2:30 this morning." So I wonder who that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how's your day going, Mingo? It's going. It's going. Definitely going.
It's Terry Tuesday.
Terry Tuesday. I'm gonna be out for 2 weeks.
I know, man.
I'm gonna be out for a couple weeks. I have a surgery coming up Thursday. I'm ready. I mean,
what you asked for.
Yeah. I prayed for this solution. So, whenever when I look at it like that, I feel good. I feel good about whatever it takes to get my vision back.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I'm with it. So I feel I have a lot of faith today. I have a lot of faith today in my process. I have a lot of faith, since I've been able to hand over my will to the Creator. It seems like my life has, gone to a place that I never knew existed. So it feels good, feels good. I'm just happy that, for modern medicine, I mean, I remember a couple months ago, I was ready to hang it up, thought I was going to be blind for the rest of my life.
Googling dogs, Googling
Yeah.
sticks,
Yeah, I was ready to hang it up a couple months ago, and just to think that I have another opportunity, it feels good. If you put too big of a piece, it'll put the coal out. Yeah. But yeah, But yeah, I'm looking forward to it's not like they're gonna be cutting on me. It's laser surgery. It's all laser surgery. And it's crazy because the sunlight kills my vision. Like the brighter the sun is, like the harder it is for me to see. So that's like a weird process to be going through, but
I'm gonna come out at night.
yeah, I mean, yeah, basically. Did you watch the game yesterday?
No. Yes. All my family was like, "Well, shoot." Good night, yeah. I was like,
I know, right? I mean, yeah, man. I wanted it so bad for Calvin Sampson. You know, did you see the look on his face?
at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. It made me feel bad for him. At the end when they showed his face and he was just staring like he had to watch it slip out of his. I mean, creators will,
Mhm.
creators will, it's sometimes like I don't know, like I would say something like that would have devastated back in the day, but I look at things as it's just not my time yet. When he would made that face, man, I remember so many times in my life when I made that face. You know what I mean? Like the disappointment, the devastation that was going on in my life. There were so many times like I could relate to him making that face. And it wasn't like on a grand scale like his was. Where the whole world's watching. But there were so many instances where I could I felt exactly what he was feeling. Not saying I was about to win a national title, but like just dealing with life in general. There were so many times that I didn't think I was going to survive. What I had to go through. And I think about his players, like I think about my kids as his players. You know what I mean? Like here I am leading the charge, and
That's why I told you it was the internet,
Yeah, the sound works fine.
but it froze.
we're
Oh,
back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me do the propeller. Do the
But there were so many instances where where it felt like the the disappointment that was on his face. Man, I feel like I did that to my kids so many times. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how many times I broke their spirit. And it just became such a normal thing to them. Like being the kids of two addicts. Like man, I can't even imagine and it's crazy because my kids are actually they're good they're good people. Like they came out with kind hearts. They came out with you know a sense of I don't know, like it's gonna take a lot to break my kids down.
That's good.
So I mean, only because they had to face that kind of disappointment when they were kids. So whenever I seen him with that look on his face, that's what I thought of. It was like there was so many. I remember making that face. Don't do it, Darian.
Aaron, just leave it.
Darian, just leave it.
Linda Hobutter.
Do we have any comments?
Yeah. Good morning, Mary Beaver.
Mary Bieber.
She said it's a good day to live. I'm
Ish Pibba.
156 days. Well,
All right. Thank you for sharing that.
yeah. Oh, shit. Alex Dean,
Good morning, Alex.
AK Dean. Good morning, now. David Deer.
Stongo David.
No, brother Drew.
Little brother. Good morning.
Angela White Buffalo. Good morning, brother.
Morning, Angela.
And C-Dub.
C-Dub.
Good morning, y'all. Hope y'all
Yeah,
having a
good morning, everybody. Glad everybody can tune in today.
How's, yeah, I seen that look. I was just like, man.
Yeah, man, I wanted it so bad for him.
I just thought of all them years like he's been coaching and
All them good teams he had. As many times he's been to the Final Four. You know, like I thought it was his year. You know, but man, God's plan. Like they always say, if you want to make God laugh, then tell him your plans. If I would have wrote down what my recovery would have looked like when I started this thing, I would have shorted myself. So that's what I always think of. Hopefully he comes back. Hopefully he comes back and coaches some more. But I mean, just some things weren't meant for some people. And what else was he working towards? But then you think about like the type of man that he is, and all the. I was looking at Hollis Price on his coaching staff. And I was like, wow, like that was 20 something years ago. And to think like he's still leading him. You know what I mean? Like still got him under his wing. Like that's I thought that was pretty awesome. To see him and his son. His son played at OU too. So I mean, it was pretty cool. Just to think the type of man that he is and the way that all these younger men look up to him. And I would put my money on Coach Sampson any day. And then the Lumbee tribe, they just got recognized as a federally recognized tribe. So I mean, but he's always been one of ours. He's always been native to me. I mean, but I mean, it was a crazy thing. Just watch all that unfold last night. Man, kind of the way that they did Duke. I mean, you got to give Florida their props. They hung in there and they hung around. They kept fighting back, and now they're national champions. It is what it is. But do we have any more comments?
Tatum, good morning.
Good morning, Miss
Gwinnett, Carrie,
Gwinnett.
Magneto. Oh, we already did.
Well,
Francis Lone Bear.
Francois.
I had to make that face at a so-called brother over the weekend.
I seen that, brother. When I thought about that, whenever I seen his comment to you, and it's just like, like who's really the sick one there? Who's really the one that has a problem? I mean, I see your growth. I remember who you used to be and where you're at today and the good father that you are today. So I mean, don't let them things get you. I know exactly how, because like I got friends, they look at me like I'm a cop. You know what I mean? Like because I'm sober, like, and I'm helping people, get sober. It's like, I by one of my best friends, I asked him if he wanted to go to AA one time. He was like, "You go to AA? Like that's a cult." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, you can't do this by yourself? You can't do this on your own?" I was like, "I would have never went to treatment. What's the point of getting sober if I never needed anybody to help me?" 41 years of my life falling apart. So I mean, there's always going to be people like that. And, to me, those are the ones that you got to pray for the most. So, I'm proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you, big brother. Francis, man, his little brother, Carl Bryce, my little brother, we have the same Indian name. That's the name that I have tattooed on my, he had it tattooed across his stomach, and we were both named after my uncle Robert Wilson. Hoyt Hall. That was both of our names, and whenever my son, the day before my son passed away, I had a dream about Carl Bryce, and he took me to where my grandmas are. In my dream, he took me to where my grandmas were, and I knew, like the next day, I found out that my son passed away, um, because Carl Bryce died the same way that my son did. So in my head, like it was a comforting feeling. Like it really, really helped me. Like if Carl Bryce can take me to my grandma's, then I know where my son is. You know what I mean? Like it really did comfort me to. So and it was just his birthday the other day. It was just his birthday the other day. He would have been 45. So I love, and plus, we're related anyways, but because of that, I always feel like I'm in debt to his memory. So got to give big props to my big brother Francis. Keep doing your thing, brother. He's 6 years sober. 6 years sober. It's a huge deal. I can look up to him now. In this whole ordeal. So, that's pretty awesome. Proud of my big brother.
One not wrong.
Morning, Ron.
Got the beanie sheet.
What?
Is it? Yeah.
What?
Trying to read.
Oh.
Okay, Abinishi, buddies and buddiettes.
Okay.
Frank? Is it Frank? Steam?
Go ahead. Say it.
Frock? Okay, good morning, Cassie B.
Good morning, Cass.
Neon Kid Desi.
As you get to class, you're not supposed to
Pay
watch.
attention.
Learn something.
I know. You could be over here.
Yeah. Kikidu Sharon B.
Nyaki. Wait. Nyak. Wait. Ititi nakusech hata hisei. That's Desiree's name is Star Woman. I just headbutted my microphone.
I know. Yeah.
Bridge is gonna fall.
Kikidu Sharon Beard. She's 1 year, 4 months.
All right. Thank you for sharing that.
God is so
Sharon.
good.
Thank you for sharing that, Sharon.
Stay blessed, peeps.
Thank you for sharing, Sharon.
Hi. She's tuning in.
Oh, Mikai. Good morning.
Oh, Makai.
Yeah, we heard-
Oh, Kikadoos.
Yeah, come do
I know,
yoga.
right? Come do yoga with
The
Mingo.
park.
Flexible Fridays.
Cactus.
Yeah, good morning. Glad you could tune in. So, should we jump into this reading?
Oh, good morning, Tobias.
Tobias, that's my other big brother.
Good morning.
If it wouldn't,
The 8th.
all day long.
All day. The very dust under your feet responds more lovingly to our footsteps than to yours, because it is the ashes of our ancestors. And our bare feet are conscious of the sympathetic touch, for the soil is rich with the life of our kindred. Chief Seattle. Squamish. If you respect something, it will respect you back. If your ancestors respected something, the future generations will be respected back. The Indian ancestors always showed great respect for the earth. This is why the earth is so respectful to Indians today. Every Indian naturally feels connectedness to the earth. We know the earth holds our ancestors. If we continue to respect Mother Earth, our children will benefit, and so will our grandchildren. Today we should think about and pray for our Mother Earth. Grandmother, let me have strong feelings for our mother today. Oh,
Mado.
oh, pass it over.
Wait, no. You go first.
Yeah, it's that side. That side of the
Yeah,
Oh.
that side always goes first.
Still hiding behind.
Oh, uh, what stuck out to me is, especially that first sentence, just respecting. I thought about, I put on Suda's jingle dress last night and get her practice a little bit for Friday. She wore it. She didn't even try to rip it off or anything. She put music on the jingle dress, some Southern songs. Just reminded me of how how blessed it is to show them, and even my son Braden and Ryder when they're fancy dancing and showing them, taking them out there and bringing them into the circle, and just and reminding to respect the circle and respect the earth, because what you give out is what you're gonna get back. And then just reminding me myself too to always stay blessed no matter how, even if you're having a hard time, bad things are happening around you, just to keep praying. And even good things, or you got that good feeling, or you made a good paycheck, or just be thankful and blessed. It's just like when I when I pay the bills, I like, man, I'm broke, but man, all the bills are paid. Yeah, I can drive around and have somewhere, have my family able to lay down on the bed, have just a home or teepee. Hey, but I think I don't know. That's just what came to mind when I read that. Just being blessed and thankful for able to show, my kids and have a blessed family. And I don't, like I said, we always sometimes we put labels like our aunts and uncles, if they're alcoholics or their addiction, they were sick. But I just they went through something we didn't have control of. Just pray for them and love them and who they are and who they were, the ones that have passed on. And, I don't know. That's what I got. Oh,
Keep the tea. Keep the tea. You're supposed to be gassing them up.
I know. Well, thank you for reading that, Mr. Vijo. You know, what came to mind? What came to mind was, yesterday we were watching something. Me and Nat was watching something about, and they were talking about going to space, and that was what that's what she was like. I wonder why they're always trying to leave. Why are they always trying to leave Earth? Like, why can't And like, without even thinking, I said, because they don't have no connection. Like, they don't have a connection anywhere. That's why I feel lucky. Being Cheyenne, being a native person. And knowing my history, knowing where I come from. Understanding like my people have been here for thousands and thousands of years. So it's like, I was told all the good spirits come from the dirt. And I seen, I watched it myself. Somebody get doctored with a plate of dirt. That's all that this guy had. And he's, and I asked him, why did you just use dirt? He explained to me, if you put that dirt in your hand and you feed it and you give it sunlight and you give it everything that it needs, he said that dirt's it's gonna create life. You know what I mean? And that made a lot of sense to me. So whenever I think of it in that sense, you got to think of the creator. Like, the creator is everywhere in that dirt. And if I take a glove and I go walk around the office and I just, especially around your desk, yeah,
hey, wait, who?
Life, full of life.
yeah, I'm gonna find life over. I'm gonna find creator over there.
Yeah.
But that's how I think today. When I think about my faith, there's dust everywhere. The Creator is everywhere. And when I think about, where my ancestors are, you know, uh, you know, they're a part of this land. That's who I am. I am my ancestors. That earth is me. I'm even the same color as it. Yeah. Especially right here. Yeah. But that's how I think today. I try to hold on to that connection because I know for so many years I never had that. It was always there. I think about where our people, maybe it started when our people moved into houses. We were told, that's what a man's supposed to do. And I can see the comfort of that, compared to a teepee, I mean, way warmer, Uh, but I feel like when that started happening, you know, um, maybe that's when that connection we started losing that connection because everything we did was on the ground. You know, we slept, we prayed, we ate. We quartered up all of our game. It all happened on the ground. That connection was there, and our life depended on what Mother Earth was able to offer us. Like that's how deep our connection was like it depended on what season it was in. How am I changing up the way I live, depending on Mother Earth. And nowadays we just walk in our room and flip on the switch and then we're warm or we're cool. Like the comfort of yeah. What is God?
But
But it's like, okay, well, Bridie has put this awareness into my life, and I feel like, you know, I catch myself praying more for the Mother Earth. I catch myself praying more for that connection to Mother Earth. And I'm more concerned about what we're doing to Mother Earth. Natalie made me feel guilty the other day, and I'm blind, so I had my straw wrapper, and she was rolling up her window after we got our, you know, went through the drive-through, and I was gonna flick it to see if I could just make it out the window, and it went like, the window's like this far, and I made it. You know what I mean? And she was just like, "Why would you do that?" Like, and I automatically felt guilty, like, like it's just a little, I was like, "Well, it's wood, yeah, it's biodegradable," but I had to excuse it because I actually felt guilty about it. Like I don't know, like just the awareness that you know uh we got to be more grateful and thankful and take care of where our ancestors lay. Take care of where we come from. So just keeping that in mind, just having that ideal in my head that I'm just a small part of what actually goes on. But if I can do my part, if I can try a little bit more, if I can be a little bit more present in the moment and understand, how everything's interconnected, I might have, a little bit more understanding of what Creator's will is. So with that, I'm gonna say aho.
Oh,
Yes,
my
nice. Do we have any comments?
Rossi.
Nyaki, brother Ross.
Cassie B said, what she said? Wait, Jody Wilson, 1,005 days sober.
Wow, thank you for sharing
Wow.
that, brother.
Whoa.
Aho.
Sister.
Oh, God.
Susie Kiki's from Pawnee Nation, 24 years sober. Blessings from our Lord and Savior.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
Thank
she
you
really
for sharing
enjoyed
that.
watching your podcast each day and sharing of your life. Thank you
Aho.
all.
Aho.
TNA tour, and may the Lord continue His blessings.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Oh.
So is that it?
Cassie B said, I read it's been discovered that scientists found Earth's heartbeat in the ocean every 26 seconds. It beats something known to us. It's reminiscent in our ceremonies.
Hmm.
And Leslie Botone says, good morning. Leah Sessom says,
Good morning, Leah. Leslie, Leah, Jen Miller,
Billings.
Billings. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. And that's it. We ain't done the announcements in a long time. What time is it?
20 minutes. So
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's run through them.
Talkspace. Don't forget, it's free. It's free through us. Remember to download you can Talkspace Go app, and that's the more self-guided class, and then Talkspace Therapy app. Remember, for ages 13 and up. Remember, the EAP organizational code is restored.
Text tour to 888 wait.
Yeah.
888-580-4TOUR.
It's so long since you.
I know, right? I said, wait. Yeah. Text tour to 888-580-4TOUR. It keeps you in the loop with what we do as a program, meeting times and dates. It gives you updates on what we do as a Gord Clan. So shout out to Brand Logics. It is a great tool to have if you want to stay current with what we got going on. So, aho, bueno. Brand Logics. Bueno.
Well, Brady meetings. The Mondays are Mending Mondays here at 1950 South Shipper, 7 o'clock. Thursdays are Talking Circle in Weatherford at 110 East Cedar. 810
East Cedar Avenue.
Cedar Avenue, Weatherford, 7 o'clock. And then also Thursday here at 1950 South Shipper, 7 o'clock, Talking Circle. And also here at 1950, the Youth Empowerment with Tatum Esca.
Mm-hmm. Tater Tot Escott.
Yeah, she does with that. And we know we have the age on there, 14 to 17.
13 and up.
13 and up. But if they're a little younger, or if they're a little older, if they you feel like they want, if they can feel like they can sit in, they can just
Benefit.
Yeah. So bring them all out.
Or I mean, even if you just want to bring your kids,
Yeah.
like we give them their own space. So
Not babysitter.
no, not babysitting, but gives them a chance to maybe do an activity and interact with other kids that are in the same boat as them.
And then Friday is our 12-step meeting here at 1950 South Shepherd. It's pen to paper. Mr. Levi will help guide you whatever step you're on, or if you're having a hard time, or just to come in and learn more about the in depth. Sober Skins, April 22nd. We're gonna have an open mic, podcast, supper, and more here at 1950 South Shepherd from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
When is that?
April 20th.
22nd. Is that Monday?
It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I won't be back by then.
You can be wheeled in and eat.
I
Get you a straw.
might come in though. I mean, I came in last time.
But just come join us for an evening event where our native peer support specialists and aspiring peer recovery support specialists can meet and network with each other. So kind of like a meet and greet.
I have an open mic podcast. We'll be streaming that.
Walking
So
tacos.
Anybody that wants to share or spread whatever words they want, feel free to. Yeah, we'll have supper. We'll figure out what we're doing for supper. And so this is just to kind of give more
Like
of
a
a voice.
network.
More
Yeah,
of a
come
voice
on
for
out.
Native peers, because there's a lot of us out there, but we want to bring them all together so that way we can see what good comes out of it.
I think it'll be good too because there's not a lot that goes on up here in Northwest Oklahoma. And maybe we can figure out a solution for. Maybe I can reach out to the Pawnees. Maybe I can reach out to the Kiowas, or the Comanches. Or, it's just I think it's a great idea. Hopefully, we get a lot of interaction going on. So,
Worst case, we just eat dinner by ourselves.
yeah, worst case scenario, we'll just pig out. Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, are we doing Trauma Tuesday? Since we didn't do Mental Health Monday, we were just sitting around arguing about Mingo signing us up. Yeah. And if Mingo says yes to any events, make sure he shows up. Yeah, you did.
Multiple times.
One.
Are you gonna be there? The one you signed us up for?
Yeah.
He's gonna be there to dance though. He's not gonna.
No, it's only 30 minutes.
Yeah, but he's gonna get ready after 7, so that'll be like 2 hours. Dance for 30 minutes. That table's gonna be solo.
Well,
We liked it last year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, share, follow. Tell your mammy about us. I'm sure she knows though.
Yeah. Oh.
But we appreciate all the comments. We appreciate people telling us how long they've been sober. Where maybe even just where you're from.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy this part. This makes my day. I really enjoy doing this. So I believe tomorrow's be Women's Wednesday. So I don't know who we got coming in, but I do got to give a shout out to Makai and the ladies, Nat and Kristen and Lexi. I got to give a shout out to them ladies for what they did for us last Wednesday. That was, I liked how that went. So I just want to send a shout out to them once again, and hopefully we can recreate that. Somehow, some way. I felt like it was a great set. So, with that, you got anything else?
No, he kinda said,
Now what? Yeah, I believe that's it. We will see you later on this afternoon. Ahoo!